guys, it's me, Squish the Card Master, and today I'm going to show you my new gimmicky, I don't think it's gimmicky actually, I think it's pretty good, Oob Mill. Now, when people saw the drawing and putting cards into energy, they thought maybe this could work as like a slug type mill deck. And I thought, hey, that's pretty cool. That's one of my favorite archetypes is milling. And my favorite character is Oob, so might as well just give it a shot. So here is the Oob leader. It's auto when he attacks, he draws one. Awaken 4 or less, or if you have a Mr. Boozy battle card and you cost a 2 in play, you draw one, untap one, take a left down to 6. Like, this leader is the most basic of basic leaders. And the artwork on the background kind of reminds me of another leader. I forgot what it was. I think it was Crimson. Yep, it was. It's actually pretty cool because Goku taught Oob. Then we have on the back side, Oob and Mr. Oob Resonating Spirits. This card attacks, draw one. Additionally, if this card attacks your opponent's leader and there is no cards at the beginning of the combo step, the beginning of the damage step in your combo area, in your opponent's combo area, you would draw one. So if your opponent doesn't combo and they just take the damage, you get to draw 2. Or normally, which most of the time is going to happen, you just draw 1. Or I think, since it says in the combo area, actually no, never mind. I was thinking that when they combo, put the card in their Z energy, then you can draw another card, but it's still being comboed at the end of battle, then you put it in your Z energy, so no, they have to take the damage for you to draw another card. Activate main, add up to 1 battle card in your opponent's drop area to their Z energy. Helps them trigger your effects. Pretty nice. Here we have the, gotta zoom out. Here we have the battle cards. So this is like the mill area. So here is Mr. Boo for Friendship. I love this card, it's pretty good. Not pretty good, it's like one of the staples in this deck. So you pay 1, if you have 2 more energy, you just play him. He's a blocker. You and your opponent both draw 1, and then your opponent adds a card to his energy. So, basically, in this deck, they're milling 1, and you're getting a blocker for 1 energy, which is really good. And then we have big, that's like the second leader, basically. You, like, gotta protect this guy. I mean, not everything's gonna fall apart, but it's gonna be much harder to mill your opponent. So he's there, Unison for the deck, Janemba, Wicked Agent of Destruction. I don't know what agent is, but agent. +0, you and your opponent draw 1, and then your opponent mills 1. And you're like, that sounds pretty familiar. So Mr. Boo for Friendship and Janemba are going to be working together to mill your opponent out really fast. So you're going to +0 once this guy's on field. So you're paying 0 energy to get them to mill 2, because they're drawing and milling 1. And then you're going to pay 1 to get a blocker, and your opponent draws 1, adds a card from hand as the energy. So you're paying 1, because Janemba's already going to be on field, because you're required to have 2 more energy. So on turn 3, you're going to proc him off. They're going to mill 2, then you're going to pay 1, make them mill 1, so pay 1, make them mill 3. Really good. Speaking of mill 3, we have Janemba Agent of Destruction. I only have 1, so yeah. He's critical. And when you play him, at the end of turn, you get to untap 1, so basically he's almost like paying 3 to mill 3. I'd remain, send him to warp, draw 1 card, and then your opponent mills 3. Simple, really just straight through. I don't really attack with him, because if you attack with him, things like Petrification, Mafuba, even though nobody really plays that except for me sometimes, some things can really mess the skills on him up, like Final Flash So I just say, like, once you play him, just send him to warp. Don't risk it. Now here for our rival plays. So we have Mr. Boo Janemba for milling, and this Janemba for milling in the blue category. And then for the arrival categories, we have our combo pieces, which is 2 Quick Assist Krillin. Now this card's an old card, but I think it's pretty good, honestly, because you get to pay 1, get a red combo for to set up your rivals. It's 10k, and at the end of battle, it goes in rest mode as a blocker. So when you think this is their final attack, you combo him, and then when they pass turn, you get a free blocker, which you get to pay 1, get a blocker for red, and you pay 1, get a blocker for blue. Except this one, Mr. Boo's better blocker because it makes them mill. This one's a combo. Now we have more red combos. Pay 1 combo, draw 1. Simple, good. Helps you cycle through your stuff. Now we have 2 of our super combos, which this super combo is really good in this deck. So turn 1, you're going to charge a red-blue energy, and then turn 2, you're going to play out the Janemba +1 to give him 3 markers because you want him to stick on the field. And then after turn 2, he's just going to stay there because you have so much protection. So turn 1, since you're charging a blue-red, when this card is using a combo, red card is going to be in your energy, a battle card gets minus 5k, and then if a blue card's in your energy, a leader gets 5k for the battle. So, this just, like, really minuses their field. Just, like, not a floodgate, I would say, but definitely slows them down, because the arrivals minus cards as well, so really just annoys them. And it's a red-blue free combo to set up our arrivals. 2 of these Gokus. And now 3 Frieza Colossal Dynamo. So pay 2, you get a blocker. Your opponent mills 2, and then one of their battle cards gets minus 5k for a turn. And you're like, this card is like, you're milling so much, and you're just spawning blockers. Your opponent's gonna get just like really aggravated unless they board wipe, because these guys have no protection. But yeah, 3 of them because pay 2, mill 2, and you get a blocker. Sounds pretty nice to me. Now pay 1 to rival red blue. Your opponent mills 1, and then choose each of your opponent's battle cards in non-barrier, and they get minus 10. So good barrier removal. Also slows them down. I ran 4 of him. It really depends on the situation, whether you need a blocker or minusing the field more. Like, this is more for aggro matchups to, like, make all their 15Ks or 20Ks lower and, like, almost non-effective. And this is more for, like, if your opponent's slower. Yeah. And we have the mill block. Well, what am I doing? Mill boss monsters. So here's the Frieza. Turn 1, you're already charging red blue. So then turn 5, charge just a hard red energy between the Goku or the Krillin. And then when you swing with him, you're minusing everything 30k barrier. And when the power of one of your opponent's battle cards is decreased, they mill 2. So he's just really good, because if they swarm or they have like just a decent amount of battle cards, that's probably going to be game once you get to 5 energy, or just going to lower them down if you're turn 6. But turn 6, if it's between these 2, if they have a field, you play this guy. If they don't have much of a field, you go for King Cole, just hard mill them 5. Because the problem with Frieza is, same with the Janemba, you have to, if you attack, it might risk, like, getting rid of the effects. But it is auto, so it should just proc. Also, if this guy sits on the field, it's like, if you play him right, and you have one energy open, or you, like, untap it off Dimension Magic or something, and he's just sitting on your field, it says one of your opponent's powers is decreased. So during your opponent's turn, while he's still sitting on the field from your attack during your turn, you can arrival, make them mill 1 off Cooler, and then mill 2 off Frieza. So helps your milling too. Makes things really spicy. Speaking of D-Magic, we run 4 D-Magic. If you don't know what it does, just read. We have, just like midway through the game, you could play him. Oob focused full strength blow. Reduce the energy cost of him by 3 for each card in your opponent's Z energy, so your opponent only has to have 2 Z energy, which is ridiculously easy for this leader. He's just like a blue staple because almost everybody's gonna have 2 Z energy. If your leader is mono blue, and your opponent has 3 or more energy, when this card is played, draw 1, then 3 of the battle cards, you could put them 3 from your opponent's battle area or drop, and then add them to your opponent's Z energy, helping your combos and your Z leader. If it's you and your opponent has 7 or more Z energy, when your opponent activates a counter, they add 1 card from your hand to Z energy. That's a counter, so it could be a counter attack, counter play, counter. It's an extra little thing. 2 energy double strike that removes 3 things and has a counter block. It's pretty crazy. And deflip. So I forgot to put this guy in the mill section, but he's insanely good for the mill in this deck. So when you play him, draw 1 card, just in case you need the extra cycling. Now we're looking at the second effect here, right? If your opponent, if your leader is a blue Oob, your opponent has 3 less energy, which is early game, you can just spam him out, just spam combo him during your turn, during your opponent's turn. Just go ahead, just combo him every chance you get when they have 3 less energy. Your opponent draws 1 card, then adds 1 card from hand to Z energy. You're forcing them to draw 1 by comboing. You're literally making them mill 1 for free, essentially. Really good. Then I have 2 Zeno Edge of Space. When you tap out for Janemba, or when you tap out for Frieza, this just kind of like saves you without having to take a life. But if it really comes down to it, you can just Janemba Dimension Magic, take a life on top 2. Then we have 3 full strength absorption. You get the attack. If your opponent has 4 more Z energy, draw a card. And you're getting so much cycling in this deck. It's crazy because you're drawing off your mill cards. You're drawing off the Janemba, the Majin Buu. You're drawing off. Here, I'm gonna tell you. You're drawing off the Buu, the Janemba. You're drawing off this Janemba. You're drawing off your Goku. You're drawing off. Actually, yeah, that's it. We were drawing off Majin Buu, Janemba, the other Janemba, the Goku. It's crazy. You're just drawing so much. You can draw off Mr. Buu if you really feel like it, and Zeno. And a gate that makes you draw 1, though, that's crazy. Also, if you're like that 4 or less, you can activate this counter by discarding 1 Mr. Buu from hand instead. A free negate, and you get to draw 1. That's crazy. Then you have 3 Oob body resistance. So this card has a wall of text on it. If you let your card is a blue Earthling or Majin. You could play this in Red Ribbon Army if you wanted to, but since it isn't Earthling, I thought about it, but so you pay it for 1 energy. You add 1. You can add up to 1 card from life to hand to set up your Z leader, because you have to be at 3 life for your Z leader. Choose one of your opponent's battle cards, add it to their Z energy. Place this card from the battle area under your opponent's leader at the end of the turn. At the end of their turn. No, wait. At the end of the turn, then play this card from under your opponent's leader at the start of your main phase. So this guy's sticking under your opponent's leader until the start of your next turn. And so yeah. And when it's put under, it's your turn. Now there's a lot of confusion with this. How this works is you're putting it under your opponent's leader, and then once you put it under there, it is their card. So this text of permanent, when it's your turn, is on their side. So when it's their turn, they're getting minus 5k, not during your turn, but during their turn, they gets minus 5k. And this card can't be removed when your opponent's leader. The minus 5 from their leader and stacked on top of the Goku, you can make their leader minus 5 again. Also, just minusing their leader, minusing their battle cards with a rival is just really annoying and almost like a floodgate in that sense. Minusing everything from leader to battle card to unison is just a struggle. So now we have Protector of the People. This card is really strong in this deck because when you give this card to your leader, since all your opponent's battle cards are already weak, buffing your leader is like really strong for you protecting yourself. Sorry, my throat is really dry whenever I do these. Alright. Here we have SS3 Son Goku Warrior Savior. So if your leader card is a blue Oob, when you cast a 6 or more is removed from your battle area by a skill, you get to just replay him. And when Goku activates blocker, you just restand him, kind of reminiscent of Cell. So this is another blocker. When you use the 6 cost Oob's effect, when you put it under your opponent's leader, since it's removed by a skill, you play him. Or if your H-Drop gets removed, since he's 6 or more, if he gets removed by a skill, you could also free play him. Now, I don't play the chain cards because it's too much risk playing something without deflect. That's a low cost thing, and you have to pay energy and attack with it. It's just too much. Also, your opponent has to have like 5 or more Z energy or something, but I'd rather just hard cast them instead. Much more easier. And so you got 1 blocker. You got 1 blocker, 2 blocker, 3 blocker, 4 blocker, and they're all really useful. The blocker, the minusing, the milling, everything's just so protective and nice. And the negates, it's just crazy. Then we have 3 Bean to finish off the deck list. Well, no, to finish off the deck. Then we're going to move to Z deck. Senzu Bean, don't know what it does. Read it. Yep. Now we have, yeah, that just helps your rival. Here we have the Z deck. Pretty simple. I forgot to add it, but I'd say remove one of these guys and add 1 Vegito. I forgot to add it, but just telling you. If you have 3 less life, place 1 Mr. Boo from your drop under this guy. and then put it over your leader. When this card attacks, choose one of your opponent's battle cards and add it to your Z energy. So you just removing cards via minus and putting them in Z energy. Your leader has built-in removal, which is also reminiscent of Cell, but in my opinion, this one's better because you could do it every turn. And then here is where the payoff of giving your opponent Z energy is. Not only them having to pay taxes to make your leader not stronger by spending energy to play battle cards, minusing their Z energy count, but eventually they're just gonna have too much Z energy where it's just too much. So if they have 5 more Z energy, choose one blue oob with a Mr. Boo under it and switch to active mode. Battle cards. So the thing is with this, I was thinking about it, but this is with the chain cards that put a Mr. Boo under the oob and then place the 6 or 8 cost on top of it. I don't really like the chain, so this first activate main does not matter because we're not going to be seeing any play with it. So here we have these activate battle once per turn. If your opponent has 10 or more Z energy, and this card gains 10k power and double strike for battle. So if you come by the chance where you can't kill them via milling them out, your leader is a 30k double striker once you get to that point. Or you could just pay 2 to bring out Oob, focus, full strength blow, kill them with the big double strikers just in case you can't mill them out. Also, kind of almost like cooler where you mill them out or you can punch them in the face. If you can't follow up with the milling, you can kill them with your leader, with your Oob, or with your Frieza, because he is a triple striker. Finally, we have Mr. Boo, Majin Defender, and Oob Holder, Majin Power. So, oh yeah, even more blockers. So, pay 2, you get a blocker, you Z-stack the Oob under. When those cards played, your opponent draws 1, adds a card from hand to the Z energy. Helps them add Z energy, which helps you. You block with this guy, and then if your opponent has a leader who's a Z leader, has 3 more Z energy, or has a Z battle card in play, when this card is removed, you may play 1 Oob from under him. So when your opponent gets to any of those 3, any of those 3 requirements, you block with him, and then he dies, and then you could trigger that, play this guy. When he's playing, he gains barrier for a turn. So not really being touched when it's played. Except if they want to counterplay, then go ahead. If your card's blue Oob and it's your turn, when one of your opponent's cards adds to their Z energy, you get to choose another card from the battle area or drop and add it to your Z energy, making their Z energy count go really high. And then activate battle. If your opponent has 3 more Z energy, and you have an Oob in battle, which is probably going to be this guy, you mill 2, and then combo card 5k from your drop with its skills negated for a turn. And now, the thing is, I don't really think I'm going to be playing these 2 all that much. Maybe not early game, maybe like turns 4 and 3 maybe. Because the thing is, you have to pay 2 for Oob, which I'd rather just pay 2 for Janemba because it's much better. I'll think about it because I'm not sure. You do awaken once you bring the Mr. Boo out. So it's really up to how you want to play this deck. But right now, I think I'd rather play the Janemba than the Mr. Boo. But I don't know. I'm kind of against it. But turn 2, you're either playing Mr. Boo or you're playing Janemba on how you want to run this deck. I'm not really sure yet because I have not played it because these cards have not came out.